Alright, so we're back for another unboxing from CGC. I've got several cool books here, 5 in total. Now these are probably in the 9s range, 8.5, 9, 9.2, somewhere in that range. These aren't 9.8s, but they're certainly beautiful high-grade books. So let's go ahead and get started here. We've got Thundercats #1 from 1985, I believe. Yes. So yeah, popular cartoon back in the mid-80s. I certainly watched it as a kid. So this one had, I don't know whether it had a low print run, but it is kind of hard to find it in the higher grades. So when I got this, I was hoping to get a 9.8, but once I got it in, there were too many issues on the spine and some other areas. It kept it from getting that high grade. I certainly think it could get 9.6, but I actually have no idea. There's like a slight little discoloration on the spine. I'm not sure whether that's a common defect or what's going on there. But I just have no idea. It's like lighter greens in certain areas. No idea what that is. I haven't seen it on other books I've looked at, so I don't know how that's going to be treated. That could make this book an 8.0. I really have. It's going to be. I'm kind of curious. Let's see what CGC thinks about this book. Okay, we got the 9.6. We got off-white to white pages. I don't remember that being normally I'll make a note of that when the pages are a little bit yellowed, but I don't see any notes on that. But I'm definitely happy to get the 9.6, whether it's off-white to white or whatever. So yeah, that is a good start. That is the grade I was hoping for, and that's the grade we got. So I got another cool one coming up, and this is Captain America Annual #8. Now there is a small crease on the back of this book. I forget where exactly, but it's in the black area, so it's just really going to limit the grade, and I think it does cap the book at 9.2. That's the grade I would probably give this book, but otherwise it's like a 9.8. It's a 9.8 presenting copy that just has a defect on the back that keeps it from getting that 9.8. So yeah, I'm hoping for that 9.2. So let's see, does CGC agree with me, or did they miss the crease, or do they think it's an even more significant defect and we get a lower grade? Let's just find out. Okay, 9.4. That's one grade higher than I was hoping for. So newsstand, very happy to get the 9.4. This isn't like a super high dollar book or anything like that, unless you get the 9.8. But I still think it's worth submitting. It's a key, and somebody's going to buy this book and love it. So yeah, you're going to get a 9.8 presenting copy for a 9.4 price. All right, the next one is a Daredevil Elektra. So $179 newsstand, which is worth quite a bit of money in a 9.8. Now I don't think this is a 9.8. I think it's capped at like a 9.6. I'm actually hoping for 9.4 or 9.6 on this book. I only paid $20 for it, so I'll be doing okay. I'm not going to make a killing on any of these books as far as money goes, but once again, it's not all about the money. It's about doing the books that you love, as well as some books for money. Now this is one I just do because I like it. So let's see what the grader thinks of this Daredevil 179. 9.6. Very happy. That's what I thought the grade should be. I think that's the max grade on this book. But I think it definitely is a 9.6. Beautiful book. Very happy. White pages. 2 more. Now this one is kind of a book that almost everybody wants. So it's got quite a bit of demand to it. Newsstand version, which makes it a little bit more valuable. I had a newsstand 9.8 unexpectedly come back in the last few months. These things sell for a lot of money. Somebody paid me, I think, something like $17 or $1,800 for that book. And I think I had paid $200 for it. And it sold quick. I don't know what it is about this book, but people will pay a lot of money for it in the high grades. So I paid $100 for this one, hoping to get that 9.6, 9.8. Now, once it came in, not as nice as I had hoped again. So I think this one is capped at 9.4, but I would be thrilled to have that 9.4 in this book. I'm not, once again, making any money on this book, but I will be happy to get a 9.2, 9.4, or squeak out a 9.6 in this book. But it doesn't really matter what I think about this book. It matters what that grader thinks. So let's see what CGC thinks about this book. 9.4 off-white to white. Off-white to white is pretty common on this book. These books back in the day on the stand were not white pages at all, but that's fine. We'll definitely take a 9.4 newsstand, Wolverine #1, limited series, of course. So, last one. X-Men 137, Death of the Phoenix. This is a beautiful copy, newsstand edition. I paid $60 for it. Got a really good deal, I thought. And I'm hoping to get a 9.2 on this book. Of course, every time I buy any of these books, I'm hoping they could potentially get a 9.8. Most of the time they come in, they're not 9.8 candidates. Sometimes I submit them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just keep them raw. Sometimes I resell them, sometimes I put them in the PC. But if I think it's worthwhile to slab them, if I think they're going to be worth a little bit of something, we'll go ahead and slab them anyway. So, hoping for the 9.2. This was the least nice book of the entire batch, so I wouldn't be surprised if I got 9.0, 9.2 on this book. But we'll be happy with whatever we get on this beautiful copy of X-Men number 137. That is the big surprise of the batch right there. I do not think that's a 9.6. If that's a 9.6, this is a 9.6 at least. And this is a 9.8. Right? So maybe there's a Bronze Age bias a little bit. Maybe some graders I know do give Bronze Age. Of course, this says Bronze Age here. Technically, it's right on the cusp, but some people in the 70s, early 80s books do bias toward giving a little higher grade. I don't know why. Maybe it's just part of the population. But this one has kind of a little crease on the bottom of the spine right there that I thought limited it. If you can see it right there. Right there. I thought that would limit the book, but it is a square bound book, so this is square bound, right? Yeah, square bound book. They're maybe a little bit more forgiving on square bounds, and maybe it's just my ignorance, honestly. Maybe there's a lot of common defects on square bounds that I don't know about. I really honestly don't have a lot of experience. This might be the 10th square bound book I've worked on. So there's that, right? I have been wrong on square bounds, as you know, quite a bit. I did a giant size X-Men one, got a much higher grade than expected, and it was a square bound book. It is a square bound book, obviously. So, but yeah, tremendous. I'm very, very happy to get the 9.6 newsstand X-Men 137. So that's it for today. Stay nerdy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.